Matter of fact, he come now, y'all. BGS about to BGS shine through. So boom, here we go, y'all. The master teacher is here.
I gotta get off. I'm gonna hang on for a few minutes.
The master
You
teacher
can,
is
you
here.
can stay, Doc. Dr. Goodbar, you don't have to run.
What's up
By
with
the
you,
way,
BGS?
by the way, how you feeling, Dr. Dunbar? Because I know you had a little, run in with the C19. So how you feeling?
Yeah, better. Throat still just a little bit scratchy. Drinking tea, but otherwise I'm fine.
All right. Okay. You still in Western New York, or are you back home?
I drove back on Monday.
Okay. All right. Good to go.
All right.
Well, I don't know why this is a debate. Maybe I should do more on this. I actually talked about this early on with my first channel, with my MGTOW channel. Okay. Age. Okay. Men's age is determined by usefulness, right? His peak earning years, right? And when men were farmers and men had to do physical work, naturally, the younger the man, the more useful he was, right? Because after a man was considered old by his mid 30s, maybe 40s, because he couldn't physically do the kind of work he needed to do to support a family. Okay. Now we don't have those kind of jobs anymore. Now a man's usefulness is actually after he gets 35. He's actually more valuable after 35 because his peak earnings is between 35 and 55. So his usefulness to the family is actually older, right? Okay. Now when men had to do physical work, okay, a man's and a woman's, I'm gonna say youthfulness was actually aligned, right? Uh, he started working when he was in his teens. Okay, he got more useful when he's in his 20s, and he started to fall off that in his 30s. Okay, because of physicality. Okay, but now society has shifted that. So now men and women whose trajectory is not aligned anymore. Women are still locked by her biology because a woman's basically usefulness to a man is actually her number one, her fertility, number two, her beauty, and number two, her youthfulness, right? Because those all tied to her fertility. And a woman's fertility, biology's locked them into their same 20 years of fertility, basically. Most, because we don't consider 12, 13, and maybe even 14, but they basically from 14 to like 33, 34 is their peak fertility years. So you got 20 years of fertility. And after that, they get old. So basically, if you find a woman that's 30 years old, she's throwing away 3/4 of her fertility. Okay, that's old. Okay, that's old biologically. That's old for what she's actually needed for. That's actually old because a woman's peak. Everybody knows, and you know this, Roger. A woman's peak is actually 19. It's not 25, 26. It's actually 19. If you want to get her a little bit more mature, then the peak age for her to get married is like 23, 24. Okay, even I even showed this on OK Cupid. They actually say the most guys nowadays, no matter what age they are, the woman that looks best to them is 22. Okay, you can't change that. Whereas women want to arrange a guy's plus or minus, a doc like this, plus or minus 3, doc. If you've done chemistry, you know what that means, right?
Standard deviation.
Standard deviation, plus or minus 3, right? And women really go for guys that standard deviation. They tend toward the older side, 3 years older, but they'll take 3 years younger. So it's plus or minus 3 for women. That's consistent throughout the range. And what women don't understand is that our value has moved, but theirs hasn't, and that's what they get pissed about. So I don't even know what they're upset about. They already know, man, because I hear my mothers and my my sisters and the old women tell the young women, hey, you gotta, I said when they started getting like 26, 27, girl, you're getting old. Okay, you gotta lock somebody down because they already know that your peak your peak usefulness to a man is expiring, and by the time you get 30, then you're in uh, like Kevin says, you're in the danger zone, because after that he can go younger because his peak value hasn't even started yet. So, guy that like Dr. Dunbar, because of his value, Dr. Dunbar can get a woman that's 25, 26 years old, no problem. Okay, he might not want to put up with the maturity, because of the growing pains, but he's more valuable to a woman that's 25, 26 if he wants one, because he's probably more. Dr. Dunbar's probably somebody like him. I always say date. Instead of that plus or minus 7, he should date like when you get to your 40s, you should date like 15 years younger, because that's where your values have to match. That's like when women hate the sexual marketplace value, okay, because it actually measures what's important for a man versus what's important for a woman. And after a woman gets 32, her progesterone starts to dip. I mean, really, really, really low. People look at estrogen, but that's not the important thing for us having a baby. Progesterone actually softens the womb so a baby can attach. That's like a woman always all of a sudden starts having miscarriages after 35, because she can't get the baby to actually attach to her womb and stay there. So, and everybody knows that. So a woman's in every other culture, right? Every other culture has been around for a while. That's outside the feminist culture. They considered anything, like Roger says, they considered anything past 25 old, because you've thrown away half your fertility already. So basically, half your value is already gone. And in this society, basically, we throw away the first 5 years of a woman's fertility, because we want her to be 18, because we want her to get out of high school. So if you don't get so basically, we kind of push up the age range because of that, because you actually allow for them throwing away the first 5 years of fertility. That's when we push it up to 30. But after 30, okay, are you old biologically as far as lifespan? No, but the thing is, what you're useful for, you're old already. You've already reached your peak. Women peak out 10 years earlier than a man does. Like, a man doesn't peak out physically till he's 30. A woman peaks out when she's 19 or 20. So she's 10 years biologically. She's 10 years ahead of you. So if a man is considered old, I don't know why guys that are 40 and over talk about old niggas, because you're old after 40. Okay, you're not young after 40. You're old after 40. Once you hit 40 years old, we used to consider that an old man. Okay, so you're old after 40, even though your value gets more when you get old as an old man, and you're much more valuable as an old man in the society. But a man is old after 40, when a woman is old after 30, because they've peaked out earlier than we have.
Absolutely.
And that's just biology. I don't know why women debate that. It's simple biology. Okay, what is a woman value for? 3 things. A man are consistent with that. Okay, fertility, youth, beauty. Those all peak at 19. Okay. Not 20, not 25, not 26, not 30. They peak at 19 years old. Everybody can look at a 19-year-old woman and know, okay, she's about the best that she's gonna get at 19. Okay, she's gonna actually get that slow slope down after that.
Yeah, and I think our issue just as men, we have, I don't know why we haven't just said this stuff flat out, because I know every woman I've talked to who's older, and I would say something as simple as, if she interested in me, I'd be like, well, she kind of old. What am I supposed to do with her? And they'll get offended. And my thing is like, I'm in my 40s, so like women be like, well, you should talk to my friend. Was she old? What I'm gonna do with her? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's offensive. Why would you say that? I'm saying it because it's the truth. What am I supposed to do with a woman that's 40?
It's not offensive. It's practical. Okay. If you had, and because I like to say, you counsel guys just like I counsel guys, right? Because if you're a content creator, you're constantly talking to guys. You counsel guys like I talk to guys. Okay, most guys that are 40 that want a 40-year-old woman is because they've already had children and their children are grown. They don't want to start over. Okay, that's why they pick a woman that's 40. Okay, they don't pick a woman that's 40 because she's 40 or because they can't get a younger woman. The thing is, if you pick a younger woman and she doesn't have kids, you got grown kids, that means you got to start another family. And that's how come most guys will pick, a lot of guys, I'm not saying most, a lot of guys will pick a woman closer to their own age that's past her fertility window because they don't want to have any more children. That's the only reason. Other than that, they pick
Absolutely.
younger.
I got a friend doing it right
There's
now.
always, yeah, yeah. But that's why there's a caveat. There's a caveat to. Well, there's a caveat to it. I was telling complex design. He said that's not exactly true. I said nothing in the universe is exact. If anybody that's a scientist would know that. Okay, I'm a chemist by training. There's no molecule or atom in the world that's exact. There's no such thing as exact. Okay. There's nothing in
Yeah.
the universe that's exact. Okay, everything the whole universe is the shade of gray. But the thing is, you can't talk about about exactness in a general audience. You got to give a general concept.
Yeah, and that's why I say, generally speaking, if
Yeah,
you're an old lady, go after the dudes that's divorced already, or they
yeah.
widows, widowers, I should say.
Widowers, or they have grown children, because I've talked to a whole bunch of guys, man, that are, about what they want, and they're asking me what should I get and stuff like that. And I said, okay, well, what are you willing to do? I said, if you get a 25-year-old, 26-year-old that doesn't have kids, guess what she's gonna want to have? Are you willing to give her children? Because after I had my children, I wanted a woman my own age, because I didn't want to go through, get a, because the mother of my children, when I met her, she was 22, and I was 28, and she was 22. So the thing is, if I get another 22-year-old, guess what she's going to want? She's going to want more children. Okay, if I'm done having, if I'm 35, 40 that have children already, guess what I don't want? More children. And I'm done. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's qualifications to everything. So, but a woman is not going to get a high value dude with no kids and expect him to pick her. No, it's not going to happen. Like Roger. Roger don't have any kids. So if he want to get married, he wants a family. He's not going to pick a 40-year-old woman to have a family with. No, it makes
Absolutely.
no sense.
And,
I don't know why. I don't know why that's offensive. Hey, you could. Well, I don't want a 4-year. Well, why? It should be obvious. I want a family. A 40-year woman is past her fertility window. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. It's like a 40-year woman that's making six figures picking a broke dude. Don't make any sense. You wouldn't. She wouldn't. Okay, you're not gonna pick a dude that doesn't have a career. And you're a career woman. Doesn't make any sense.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, and it really shouldn't even be a problem, because you're absolutely right. But I think it comes up so much because, see, I'm 44. I think it comes up so much because it's so many women out here that ain't got no husband, and they
Mhm.
still trying to make these moves and things like that. And it's
No.
like, as a man, like, the older you get, the more you become like a target. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't want you, like, for a good relationship. Like, it's just
No.
you a
No.
target that I can offload my problems on this particular man. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh well. Yeah. Because yeah. In fact, me and Dr. Johnson got to do a show about that, about the emotional labor that men have to do, that they're unpaid for and unrecognized. That a woman wants any woman wants to unload her angst on a male brain for whatever reason. Okay, and I think it's not logical; it's more energetic. So they got to find a man to unload their problems on, otherwise, so they don't feel whole. And a lot of older women, oh, they can't offer their youth and their beauty in exchange for emotional support anymore. So basically, they're out of luck. And basically, guys, guys are pretty practical. If there's nothing I can get out of this, I'm not gonna sit up and listen to you for 2 hours, because I don't have to. There's no reason for me to. So if I'm not
Absolutely.
with you, you're not my wife. If you're my wife, I got to listen to you, because because that's my job, right? But if I'm not with you, and there's nothing that you can exchange, hell, I ain't got to listen to you. Go talk to your girlfriends. But talking to a woman about her problems is not the same thing as talking to a man.
And I'm gonna say too, because I don't think the problems that we have are that insurmountable. It's just that men need to be more vocal about what we actually want.
Yep.
Women gonna have to accept that a lot of them are gonna be rejected for reasons that you can say it was beyond your control. Maybe somebody didn't teach you while you was young enough for it to count. It
Yeah.
don't matter anymore. Just accept that you old and you're gonna get passed by. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I've
Yeah.
said myself, y'all, I may never get married because I didn't hit a certain age. I have certain attitudes. There's certain things I want to do. maybe I can't marry somebody who's 25 years old or whatever because we may not be able to get along. It is what
Yeah,
it is at
it
that
is what
point.
it is. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yep. You got to accept. You got to accept what you have. Okay, if you're 40 and you're female, and hopefully, if you're more attractive, and say like, I think I forget her name. She's making around. She was a fitness model, so she's got more to work with because she started off with more. Okay, so she may be able to get it. She's gonna get some dues because she was really attractive when she was young because she was a model, and she's older, but she still has enough, in the bank to where she can actually cash in on getting married. She can. Okay, but she's like, uh, she's less than 1% of the women out there. Okay, so you can't do what she does. So the rest of you 99%, you have to do what black women hate to do, which is settle. So you can't listen to on the social media and think that you're gonna get what you want. No, you're gonna get what you can get. Men already accept that. We already accept that. Okay, we have to accept what we can get.
absolutely. And I'm gonna say honestly, they're not even selling. If you make it past 30 years old, my thing is you should really start considering any man who talk to you. You know, I know people don't want to hear that, but you really need to give some consideration. Any man still willing to talk to you.
You gotta take all offers, huh? You gotta
I ain't
listen. You gotta
saying you
listen. You
gotta
gotta
take
listen
them
to all.
all.
You gotta listen to all offers,
Yeah,
huh?
you do have to at least consider them. Yeah, and just because my thing is, again, by 25 years old, your sexual market value has been told to you by the men who were interested in a relationship with you, which is not every dude who's interested in having sex with you. But then you got some men that was interested in a relationship. That was the best you can get. So if you made it 30 years old, you need to start considering who's still willing to put up with you at all. Because
Yeah, yeah.
as an older guy myself, I have told people flat out, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm not about to change this. You're too old, there's no point. I've literally said this to people, and I'm gonna continue to say this to people. You're too old, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because what am I gonna do outside of accepting the responsibility to start using my money to pay for you too?
Yeah.
My money is only owed to me at this point.
Mhm.
I don't have to share.
Yeah.
If you want me to share, I need to get something for sharing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, basically you have to be bringing value. It's not even sharing. Okay, you have to bring value to my life that I'm willing to exchange for. So it's an exchange at the end of the day, especially when you get past 30. Okay, when you're younger, okay, we can talk about love and feelings and all that kind of stuff when you're 20s. But when you get past 30, it starts to become an exchange.
Absolutely. I honestly say that if you ain't found love by 25, you might as well stop looking for it. You
Oh.
gotta pick a person and decide to love them. Just, you know what I'm saying? It
Well,
needs to be a conscious decision at that